Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. The Noble Knight Lancer Sunday preview. Next week's pre-orders have everything, big and small. A towering knight, scurrying ratfolk, and treasure trove of books. Stick with us as we dig through the goods that are coming your way soon. So there's a little video right here, but we're going to skip through that and take a look at the full article. So here we have for the Horus Heresy, the Cerastus Knight Lancer. We've talked about the design of the kit, shown you a gallery of gorgeous knights painted by the studio staff, and now the Cerastus Knight Lancer is breaking ranks and charging forth. With an ion gauntlet and shock lance, these hot-headed pilots range ahead of the main battle line, seeking single combat with enemy knights and other super heavy targets. So here we see the new Cerastus Knight Launcher. This is for Horus Heresy. Now that being said, Games Workshop has specifically said that this model will also be receiving Warhammer 40,000 rules, and they have given us the impression, all but explicitly stated, that this is not going to be a Legends item. This is going to be usable in actual games of Warhammer 40,000. That being said, I am very skeptical, at least initially, until we get 100% for sure confirmation. And a lot of that is just because of what Games Workshop recently pulled, essentially releasing a bunch of new Horus Heresy kits, and then almost immediately putting them in Legends with the new edition, basically screwing over anybody that plays Warhammer 40,000, but purchase those kits thinking they'd be able to use them in games. Now, I don't expect that Games Workshop is going to do that with this kit, because obviously selling a new Knight kit, which is probably going to be priced close to $200, I imagine, probably like in between $170 and $185. So limiting the sales of this new model to Horus Heresy players, as opposed to tapping into the Warhammer 40,000 competitive scene as well, seems very, very unlikely. Games Workshop is 100% a models company. They are fully focused on making profits, and that is by far their number one priority. So to think that they won't just release this and allow 40k players to use it, probably have it be like overpowered, Knights are very strong right now, seems just like the obvious decision to make sales. So I fully expect this to be usable in Warhammer 40,000 competitive tournaments, etc. I fully expect it to have good points and also rules as well, just because from a business standpoint, that's the smartest thing to do. So I think overall this thing's pretty cool. It was previously a forgeworld kit. It was substantially more expensive when it was forgeworld resin, and obviously was worse. So now it's coming in highly detailed injection molded plastic, and I have to say overall it looks good. I don't love the look and style of this knight relative to other knights. It's a little more agile. It doesn't have like the top panels on its like upper legs right here, so it looks a little bit naked to me. The lance is pretty cool overall. The shield is okay. I think there's definitely some improvements that could have been made on this part of the body. They have left the thumb in the middle of the hand, so you could essentially put either of the weapon or the shield on either hand. To me, it just looks super awkward. I would have rather them like make it a little bit different so the thumb looks like it's where it should be. Now, obviously, it's a giant robot, not a human, so its thumb could be wherever they want it to be. It just looks strange to me. That's a little nitpicky. But the real thing that I feel like they're missing on this kit is an amazing opportunity to have like one big plastic insert or like 4 smaller inserts, whatever, for the actual shield. So they have shields in like Necromunda. Some of the gangs have like little plastic pieces with like a slight tint to them. They look really cool. They're supposed to be like energy shields. I would have loved to see Games Workshop do something like that. Either a slightly tinted shield in like a blue or a green or something like that, or just a full-on like clear plastic shield that you could basically like paint and add detail to. I think the actual shield like this with just like hollowed out pieces, and we're just supposed to imagine it's like some awesome, amazing energy shield, I think it's lazy. There should 100% be plastic pieces that go inside there. And you know what the truth is? The 3D printing community is definitely going to make their own, and they're probably going to be cooler than anything Games Workshop could have come up with. I just feel like that's a big missed opportunity, especially knowing that this kit is going to come in somewhere around like that $170 to $185 range. To feel like there's pieces missing from it, definitely not ideal. That being said, I think this is a cool kit overall. I've never been a huge fan of these knights, like look or anything like that. I think they're pretty cool. I like the idea of a knight dedicated to like combat with the other knights. I'm sure it's going to be very good. Should have the invulnerable save in combat, which is something the other knights don't have, which makes it substantially more durable. But very cool kit. I think the Games Workshop rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with the Horus Heresy stuff, so I'm not sure how excited people are for this kit. but I do suspect that the new rules and points costs associated with it will make it more than worth people's while to purchase, because again, Games Workshop's top priority is selling as many of this model as possible. And they're going to be able to do that substantially better if it has really good rules, if it's undercosted, and if they're selling it not only to Horus Heresy players, but also Warhammer 40,000 players as well. So the obvious choice is that's the route they're going to go. All right, so next on to Warhammer Underworlds, the Word Hollow. So we have Skabbik's Plaguepack. So another Skaven Warband for Warhammer Underworlds. This one has sort of like the kind of Plague Monk thing going on here. I do like it. I think it's super cool. The giant rat with the warp stone is cool. Each of these individual models, very cool, and just shows like the potential that Games Workshop has for the Skaven range. I think it's just a matter of time after seeing all these awesome Warhammer Underworlds warbands for Skaven that Games Workshop redoes like the Skaven range, or at least adds in some new stuff. It's definitely well overdue for a refresh, and just seeing the potential for the individual models in these warbands just shows that Games Workshop can absolutely kill it with the Skaven range. It's just a matter of time. So I do suspect they're not far down the line for like a rework, some new models, some new kits, etc. But in the meantime, these Underworld warbands are just absolutely awesome. Very, very cool models. Each of these guys, super cool. The Skaven of the Clan's Pestilence are forever searching for the ingredients of the 13th Great Plague. The putrescent priest Skabbik has gathered a noisome band of ratty acolytes, who are gnawing their way to the heart of the Weird Hollow, to find one of these components. Blessed with rotten gifts, this warband corrupts the land while they do battle, dabbling in a little bit of Skaven backstabbing as they scurry to victory. So very cool. I'm sure people are super excited for these. I absolutely love these models, and they would definitely be a pleasure to paint. And then next we have the Warhammer Underworlds Paths of Prophecy Rival deck. Breathe twisted new life into your favorite warbands, old and new, with the Paths of Prophecy Rivals deck. This complete deck attunes your warband to the cosmic omens that suffuse the Weird Hollow, allowing your fighters to follow mysterious auguries and forge a path to victory. This objective-based deck pairs well with control warbands and those with high model count. Just in time for a certain Skaven Warband, which is up for pre-order next week too. And then moving on to the realm of Necromunda, we see the Ironhead Squat Prospector Claim Jumper. So a new little Ironhead Squat Prospector for Necromunda, coming from forgeworld. So this will be in resin and no doubt be very pricey. He's got his cool little robot here with him. Cool model. I definitely like it. I think there's definitely an argument to be made that the squats from Necromunda and the style of them are actually better than the Votan models. If there are any precious resources left to find in the blasted ash wastes of Necromunda, the Claim Jumper is the squat who will find them. With the nose for loot and other rich pickings, accompanied by a Techmite Autoveyor to help him sniff out the good stuff, this doughty scout often steals resources right from under the nose of the major houses. This pack of 2 resin miniatures will be available to pre-order next week. And it doesn't say it, but these will be available to pre-order next week from forgeworld. So very cool, but because it's resin, because it's forgeworld, no interest. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. And then from Black Library, we have the Fall of Cadia, Mega Limited Edition. Cadia is reeling from the 13th Black Crusade, but Lord Castellan Creed knows that this has just been a prelude to the real terror. Abaddon the Despoiler emerges from the Eye of Terror with a war host of impossible scale supporting him, and the true battle of Cadia begins. The Fall of Cadia by Robert Rath is an epic in every sense of the word, with perspective shifting between high commanders and grunts on the ground in a mighty tale of one of the Imperium's most resounding losses. So we've got a pretty chunky collector's set right here. This novel will be released first in a mega limited edition that comes in a magnetic presentation case. Inside you'll find the Fall of Cadia with a brown leather effect cover, gold foil blocking designs, and brown ribbon bookmark. Each uniquely numbered copy is signed by the author with an introduction from the author. You'll also get a metal Cadian medal with a pin, replica dog tags for Lord Castellan Ursarkar E. Creed, and a poster map of Kasrkin. Finally, there's a 64-page softback in-world diary written by Cadet Corporal Weluf Yosef of the 322nd Company Conscript Regiment. This incredible collection is limited to just 1,750 copies. So no doubt this is going to be super pricey. The presentation on this is definitely what you're paying for. The mega limited editions are usually very, very pricey, and you're paying for like the actual presentation, the collector's version of it, and like the little like metal and the dog tags and stuff like that. So I do expect this to be very pricey. Things like this are typically pretty limited, but because of the price tag, you usually get plenty of time to pick them up if you're after it. And then there's some more stuff coming from Black Library as well. Vainglorious, Ciaphas, Cain, the Anthology, Longshot for Glory and Honor, Kasrkin, and that's going to do it for this week. So the big release is definitely the new Knight. Very cool kit. Definitely the fact that it's coming in plastic instead of forgeworld is absolutely amazing. And while we know it's going to be pricey, it will be substantially cheaper than if you were to buy the resin kit. Details will be much better, and you'll have a lot less prep. So I got to say, it's a cool model. It's a cool kit. I'm sure people are excited for it. I'm not sure if I'm really going to bite on this one, as I don't love the model, and I really don't care, even if they make the rules completely broken. If anything, that would make me less likely to want it. And I kind of don't want to support the whole like Horus Heresy 40k like intermingling after Games Workshop just did the community so dirty. I was lucky in the sense that I didn't bite on the Horus Heresy thing. I didn't fall for the trap, but I know a lot of people did, spent a lot of money, and are basically SOL now. So the last thing I want to do is encourage that type of behavior. So I think I'll probably pass on this guy. One, because it's just not super intriguing to me, but two, on principle as well. The Skaven are definitely super cool. If I just needed something to paint, I would definitely grab them up. But I think this can be another week where I just kind of take it easy. And honestly, I have been enjoying it lately because Games Workshop really hasn't spent the time to get caught up on their backlog of inventory that people want to buy. And instead, they're just pumping out a bunch of new stuff. And honestly, it sort of feels like they're just putting stuff out to put it out. But I think right now, people would rather Games Workshop focus on getting caught up rather than just spewing out new models every single week. But you guys let me know. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. I know I personally have had models on order from Games Workshop for months and months and have no idea when they're going to be coming. So let me know if you have a similar experience, if you're just super excited for all the new stuff to roll out, or if you wish they would just spend a little time, get caught up, get their business in order, and then move into the new releases. Always like to hear back from you guys. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check them out. Link in the description to save 15%. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm not nearly as interested in the new releases until Games Workshop gets caught up on its backlog. And I'm out of here.